Okay guys, so we are up to day 5. You are almost there. They say in Greek, f7h, which means kind of in English, I don't know what it means. It's like we've done the ox and all that's left is its tail, which makes absolutely no sense in English, but anyway, that's what it kind of means. It means you're almost there, that's what it means. Okay, so we've got day 5, and we know obviously that the day is blue because you're all here in blue today. Wow, I'm impressed. Okay, so it is blue day. The harmonic, it's the 5th one, like the 5th day. It's called Vishuddha in Sanskrit, and it's also our throat chakra. We have 16 vortices today for the throat chakra, or petals, and we'll go into the specs with that in a second or two. The corresponding sound is hum. The element that's associated to our throat chakra is known as the akasha, or the ether element. And the sense is sound, so it's to do with the reception of sound and also the sound that we actually make that emits from the throat centre. The corresponding energy field to Vishuddha, or the throat centre, is the etheric template. And if you remember, back on the first day we explained the difference between the etheric body, which is number 1, and the etheric template, which is actually number 5, is that the template is like the negatives of the human body. So when we've got any health situations going on, it's very probable that we might need to go to the etheric template to do some healing, because illness or physical imbalances will show up in your etheric template before they do in the etheric body. Yeah? So you can even detect an illness before it happens by looking at the energy field. Yeah, so that's an interesting fact to know. Now, back to these 16 vortices or petals that are associated with Vishuddha, or the throat, is that when we speak, it allows us to crystallise what's coming out of our mouths into physical manifestation. So, as you speak, so you are, for example. But it is absolutely true. But it also depends on what your intention, feeling, or thought is behind the words that are spoke. It should be spoken, but I like that. Behind the words that are spoke, yeah? And so, if there's enough intensity to the words that you speak, it's going to crystallise it, good or bad. And the same applies to your thoughts. If there's enough intensity, it will crystallise, good or bad. And the same also goes for emotion, yeah? So depending on the scale of intensity that's behind it, is going to determine its probability to manifest in the physical realms, yeah? And of course, as we did yesterday with DNA, that applies to that too. So once we've done our DNA clearing and healing, which is up next after this introduction, things begin to manifest pretty fast, yeah? So we then have to be very conscious of what it is, therefore, that we think, feel, or speak, yeah? And do, of course. So the pranic element, or the throat chakra, is where individual consciousness is dissolved into the akasha, its element, yeah? And it allows us either to attain or remember gnosis and sophia, which is the Greek terms for knowledge and wisdom. So it allows us to attain knowledge and wisdom, happens from this area here. It enables us, when activated correctly, to speak in a clear voice of immutable truth. And don't forget, as we said, for all our classes, that's what we're all about. We're always trying to get to the immutable truth, which means that you have to transcend your personal truth, yours. Not have to, but it really is really a great mastery when you can transcend your own personal truth. Not that your own personal truth isn't valid, it's just that we try to go a step even beyond that to access absolute truth. Yeah? Now, blocked Vishuddha, or throat chakra, can create anxiety, lack of freedom, restriction, thyroid issues, throat issues, and speech and communication impediments. Okay? So these are all kind of throat chakra related issues. So that kind of wraps roundabouts what it is that this day is all about. However, today we're going to step it up. We're going to learn how to switch our brain waves into what is known as the Lambda frequency. You've learned the delta, now we're going to learn the Lambda. We're going to explore group healing and how that would function in a group situation. And we're going to have a look at, this is important for you guys today because you've complained about it or we've noticed it, the absorption of other people's energies or other beings' energies or whatever it is. When we are easily affected by the energy of somebody else, how do I deal with that? So we've got a workshop about that today. And we have another piece of information which is also very important for this day. And it's going to help you, it's another way of giving you help to access where is this issue. And that is called our challenging category, right? So it tells us all the different categories that there are of issues, but much briefer than your issues index, which is that huge, that huge list. This is kind of whittled down to 7 categories. And I've also written next to those categories where they are most likely to be found. So is it from 1 to 7 in the energy centres? Is it 1 to 7 in the energy fields? Is it in the soul? Is it in the DNA? So we're starting to gather up today the final parts of all of the toolbox for Foundation Retreat. So thanks very much guys for joining us for this intro also. Don't forget to share it, don't forget to follow it. By the way, if you're watching on Periscope, don't forget to scroll forwards and backwards through all the different videos that there are. So we've also got YouTube, we've got Facebook and Instagram. You will find me as Helen Makes Miracles. I will see you tomorrow. Be here or be square. Bye.